Hello, crafty friends. It is Nemi Batstone here with another Christmas card series. This is series number 2, which is recorded due to my technical issues. This Christmas card series, I like to do them every year. And the reason I do them is to just help you get ready for craft fairs and to also provide you with ideas on cards that you can quickly make and easily put together for those last minute groups of people that you may or may not have forgotten to send Christmas cards to. So today I'm going to highlight 2 cards, a ornament or gift tag, whichever way you'd like to put it, and then a Christmas box that you could gift or as well as sell at craft fairs. So thank you for joining me. And as well, if you place an order with me, then you automatically will receive all the pieces to make today's Christmas card series set. So you have until Saturday, end of night. And I know it seems like a really short window, but also today is the last day to get the seasonal sale. So you definitely want to pick up on that. But during my Christmas card series as well, there's another sale coming along, which is the retirement sale. So don't worry if you miss out on this one. You'll always be able to catch the last 2, because this is only series number 2 and I believe I'm doing 4. So let's get started and let's get crafty. Okay, so we're going to start with this card, and I'm just going to twist it up a bit. This was actually the card that I gave away at our swap, and it's a cute card and it was really easy to put together. And what I love about this card is it also uses a lot of scrap that you have lying around, and it also uses gives you that rainbow look or non-traditional stamp that I personally like a lot, but everyone's different. So what's really nice is you can really change up those colors as much as you like inside of there. So really it's up to you. Oh, and I forgot a card base. Hang on a second. Need one of those. So we're going to start with our card base, which is thick basic white, which of course right now is on sale, 20% off, I believe. So if you have lots of cards or plan to do anything, this is like the right time to pick this up. And I believe today is the 16th, correct? So it's the last day of the discounted sale. So you might want to pick up some thick basic white and obviously some envelopes, right? Okay, so this is our card front. And that now is ready to go. And then we need a piece of basic white, which is then cut down to 4 inches. So, oh, I've got a lot of shade. I didn't set up my other lights because I figured I would be okay with the extra daylight I have going on here, but I guess not. Okay, so we got 4. And we're going by 5 1/4. Oh shoot, you know what I should have did? I should have saved myself time and cut this together. So another neat trick that I did, or tip, is instead of using dimensionals, I took 2 to 3 of these card bases and layered them together to get the height. Because I didn't want to have dimensionals sticking out, so you can't, I'm not too sure if you can really tell, but there is multiple layers of basic white in there. So all I did was cut them all down and then glued them together. So then that way I had that little bit of height without having to use dimensionals instead. So it's just a fun other way to do things, which I personally prefer, but not everybody has to. Or dimensionals are obviously, either way, they're both cost effective, so it doesn't really matter. So there's my 2. Sometimes I do 3, or I'll just do a whole sheet. I mean, it's really 50 cents, 55 cents after shipping and tax or whatever. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't cost a lot. So there's my layer or pop-up. And then what I did was I took 5 different colors, and whatever colors you want to go through, but if you know me, I like rainbows. So that is what I'm using here. Oh, my paper's crooked, sorry. And so all we're gonna do is cut these down to 1/2-inch strips. So I've already done, so I've got Sweet Sorbet, Flirty Flamingo, so Roy G. Biv, so that would be yellow next. And I'm just gonna do 1/2-inch, and I'm hoping this is scrap. So again, scrap from your pack. And I'm hoping that that is 4 inches wide. So Roy G. Biv, if I can get it out, it's stuck under my paper trimmer. We're gonna do another 1/2-inch on the Old Olive. So these are the colors I chose. Feel free to choose whatever colors you like. That edge doesn't look very straight, so we'll go with this one. So these, again, are just my scrap pieces, and that's what I love about it. So you can easily make these, no problemo, and batch them as much as you can without wasting sheets of cardstock. So now you're just going to use your grid paper. I like to go sideways, and I'm just using my on-stage grid paper here as a guide. And you're going to leave about, I don't know, 1/2 inch to 1 inch along the top. You know, it really doesn't matter how much you leave along the top. What did I leave? This looks like about here. This looks like about, yeah, 3/4 of an inch along the top. So 3/4 of an inch is right about, yeah, good enough. So I'm just going to use that line as a guide. Nobody's going to measure it. Nobody's going to know. And if you were a customer of mine this year, you will be getting one of these in the mail, along with a special gift from me. So can't tell you what that is, because then that just spoils the fun for when you get it in the mail. But here we go. And you're going to love it. I know you will. Okay. So we're just going to add some adhesive, right? So just add adhesive on there. It doesn't matter which side. There's nothing fancy. Oh, I got a big blob. So this is a new glue stick, or glue ink, liquid, I should say. And so it's got a lot oozing out of there right now. So just going to line that up. I could use my tea ruler as well. Does anybody own a tea ruler? Those are amazing tools to have, but I'm just using my paper for now. So once you get that first one down, oh, I screwed up. No, I didn't. Once you get that first one down, you're pretty much good to go. So you just want to make sure that first one is straight. So you can take your, I'll just grab it. Let me grab my tea ruler here to show you. And I'm just going to make sure we're straight. And then we're good. Oh yeah, pretty good. Let's see here. Okay, just a wee bit off, I think. Nope. Nope, we're good. Yay. Now, obviously it's overhanging, but that's okay because we'll just cut off the excess. So then we're just going to go with the next one. Now, what you can do too is, these are all 1/2 inches, right? So you've got 1, 2, 2.5. Sometimes what I like to do, and I did this last year. If you go to my last year's video, it's, I think, when we did the Scotty. I did a Scotty video and used a sheet of printer paper and cut it out so that I could put all my different lines together and straight. So that way I knew where to put them all. Now, you can also just add glue right onto your cardstock, like so, and then just stick your strip on. That's another option. Just showing you different ways, whatever your preference is. But when you have a new glue stick like this, I'd be a little more cautious about it. Okay, there we go. And there's our 5, sorry. 5 strips. So that's our little rainbow that we have happening right there. So now all we have to do is cut off the end. So at this point, I usually like to use my guillotine. So I grab my little Stampin' Up! Mini guillotine that was given to us years ago and just line that up inside, inside there. And then I can just cut off all of these strips. Yes, I took off the guard because it's really annoying. Probably not safe, but I can't stand having to slide that piece of paper on the inside. So that's just me. Okay, so now we need our polar bear and our tree. So I thought I had an extra polar bear ready. I do. So to save time, all I did was take the Beary Cute stamp set, which I'm sure you've seen plenty of by myself and other demonstrators, and stamped my little bear with the in black, and then added the scarf with red and sweet sorbet, and then I did Old Olive with second generation onto the tree there. And now I'm just going to take some Winka Stella and add it to where the shading is to give him a little bit of glitter and in his underbelly, and then down the side of each leg. That just gives a little glow for him on the actual card. Now you can also use Smoky Slate if you like, and then I'll add a little bit to the scarf as well. And you can't see that in the video, but it just adds that little bling to it that's kind of nice. And then all we did was attach these with dimensionals, which then fits right in here like so. We could add some bling to the card or to the tree as well. So I just like to dry fit it and make sure the nose and the tip of the tree are within equal distances on each side. Looks like this side could use a trim as well. I just have a little bit of that red hanging out that I can see. So I'm just gonna see if I can trim it off a bit. It's probably gonna make it worse. Nope, not bad. That's a little better. Okay, so we'll just grab our dimensionals. It's a pretty simple card, but like I said, the reason why I wanted to share it with you is because if you have to make 30 of these, you're done in no time, right? Because the bear is a punch, not a die, so you can quickly add that on. The tree, you have to fussy cut, but it doesn't take long to fussy cut this tree because it's wide curves, wide turns, no intricate cuts that need to be made, so you're pretty good. So we're gonna add that tree on there, and then I'm gonna space my bear, so again, that nose is roughly around the same spot. And then what I did do, and I didn't add to the other card, well, maybe I won't, because then you'll be surprised when you get it in the mail. So you can add some gems or anything you want here if you like. And then, where's my ribbon? I had my ribbon here. There it is. And you can use either gold or silver, whichever is your preference. This is the Simply Elegant trim. It's been in the catalog for a while now, and it's in the annual. So again, this is 15% off right now. So it's definitely something I've used a lot of, and we've even used it in our retreats. So because it's such a versatile ribbon to have in your stash. So stock up on this one along with linen thread. Linen thread's another favorite. So I grabbed 2 of those as well because I'm constantly using linen thread. And you obviously see that in a lot of my videos and as well as on posts. So now we need glue dot to put that on. And we'll just trim this. I like long tails, but so I've made mine extra long. Then I just trim it based on how much space I actually have on the card. But I like to keep it as long as I can just because I like the tails, but to each his own. So again, you can adjust that wherever you like. You can add a star to the tree if you like. I mean, it's endless. So if you like this design and you do copy it, please do share your alternates, because I'm always looking for alternates. And not only do I like to inspire you, I look for you to inspire me. So now we need a sentiment. So you could just write your sentiment right there and stamp it. I like to use a label. So one of my favorite dies, obviously, are the stylish dies. So they come in all the different shapes. This is like an ultimate go-to. So the one I was using is right there and is missing because it's with my cutter. Let me see, it's right here. It was in my magnetic bowl, and that goes right there and fits in. So those are all the different shapes. I use them so much, it's not even funny. I can't believe how much I actually use them. But they should be a staple in your set because you have the multiple different shapes, which then make it easy for you to use all year round. So, oh, I didn't use the one from the sentiment, sorry. The sentiment I used was from Trucking Along, so wishing you a festive Christmas. So you've seen me use this one a lot as well, and I'm sure many of you have it already. It was the stamp set we used last week for jumbo tags. So if you want to see that one, you can just go to my YouTube channel and click on Live YouTubes, and you will find it. You'll find it listed there. Excuse me. I've been like sniffling quite a bit lately, but no cold, no nothing, just it's like it's lingering. Okay, so I'm going to try and stamp this straight without getting my head in the camera there. And there you go, wishing you a festive Christmas. Love it. I think that's like one of my biggest and favorite sayings so far in these. What I like about it is it's tight and simple and easy to add, especially when you're making Christmas tags. So it's been pretty much my go-to. Now all we have to do is add this to the front and then add this with dimensionals. I don't know how I got water on that, but I did. So I'm just going to grab my liquid glue again and then throw that in there like so, my initial in the middle to add a little bit of love, and then add that to the front. So I really like the clean and simple look of this card, and those of you that have ordered from me in the past will get this card in the mail. So thank you for supporting me and helping me grow my jobby. So hobby to a job, part-time job, which I really like, because then I don't have to go, especially in this time of season, out in the winter, and have to go work in a retail store where there's tons of people trying to buy last-minute Christmas gifts. So thank you for shopping online with me. And there you go. So these are the cards that will be headed out to customers, and they were also the same cards I used for our swap at On Stage. So I really, really like them, and I hope you like them too. So card number 2. So I did cheat a little and cut everything ahead of time just because I wanted to save time. But this is shaded spruce, and it is cut at 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 along the long side. But then what I did was I cut 1 inch off on this side, because this is where I want to put my letters. I have no clue where my card is. It's like MIA right now. It was on my board. So I did a stamp and sip night, or ladies night, I should say. I think I can't remember what it was called. A ladies night at Dougal Community Club. And they hosted a bunch of ladies who came and had some wine and stuff like that, and had a great time shopping. So there's a bunch of other vendors there. You could even get your cards read. Well, actually, it wasn't cards. It's flame reading, and there was one other one. I think maybe a tea, I think. So I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't have time because I was literally busy just making cards with all the guests. So that was a lot of fun, actually. So we're just going to take this and I'm going to fold it open so that I can do my own designer series background stamping here. So we're just gonna grab some shaded spruce. So I didn't want to put another piece of designer series paper. I didn't want that extra. And all we're going to do is take this and randomly place these beautiful, what do you call it? Would it be a twig? I don't know. What would this be called? And lay that however you like on the card. Now remember, it's gonna get covered along the one side, so you don't have to worry too much as to what is showing and what is not. Okay, so, and I've actually done cards where we've gone past. So that's why I have it open. Actually, I don't even need anymore. So we'll just stamp that off. There we go. And I'm gonna clean that because knowing me, I'll get it everywhere. Okay, so we have the specialty paper and the Joyous DSP, Designer Series paper. And all I'm doing is adding a strip here. And again, scrap. So this is all scrap that I've added here. And then I also just piece of black scrap, heat emboss Joyous. So we'll heat emboss the last one so that way you see that. It's just bigger, less fussy cutting too. And then I cut out the words, or the word Noel. So this I love. So again, if you watched my last video, we use the Noel. You can see it's one die. So if you were to make 30 of these, you would just run it through the machine 30 times, which makes life so much easier. And then these again, scrap. So since I had a scrap 1-inch piece, I thought, well, that's just going along the side then. So we're just gonna add that here. So I'm just putting it on the card because I don't want to put glue all the way up. It's not necessary. So that just tells me how far I need to go. And then we're just gonna add this to the edge. Again, another simple, easy card to put together that you can use for mass producing. And they would sell great at a craft sale as well. So this is more of a traditional Christmas card versus the one I just shared with you, which has more the non-traditional and colors. Okay, liquid glue, gotta love it. So same thing again, I had these little strips and I'm like, what can I do with it? So you're just gonna use it like ribbon and create that little border that goes along the edge. And I wanted that pop of red in there just to twist it up. And who doesn't love plaid, right? Okay, so we're just gonna add that right next to it. Butt it right next to it, like so. Oh, I got a little bit of glue oozing out. See, brand new ink, brand new liquid glue. There we go. And it looks like I'm just a little off the edge here, so I'm just gonna trim that. No point in running that through my guillotine or my paper trimmer. There we go. Now I can run the rest through my guillotine or paper trimmer, but I'll just use my scissors here. Cut that off. There we go. So there's the front of the card. Now you can add some more leaves and whatever else here, but I didn't. Again, I just kept it really simple. And I just put Joyous, and then Noel will go along that 1-inch side here that you left open. So that way when you open the, that you cut off, I should say. That way when you open the card, you'll see that Noel's still sitting there, like so. So if I was smart, which I wasn't, I would have used our adhesive sheets to stick that on. But since I wasn't and I cut them all, we're just gonna use our foam adhesive strips. It's just easier than cutting dimensionals. So if you have our foam adhesive strips, they are great to use on these little things. And all I'm going to do is take a strip off here, and I'm probably just gonna grab my, paper snips that are meant for glue, and just gonna add some on there. And then cut off what I don't use. Oops, my charm's in the way. Love my little charms. These charms are gifts that I gave away at a retreat. It was, that was probably 2 years ago, was it? If anybody knows and anybody was there. I always like to give pillow gifts to all my retreat participants. And I thought the charms was a good one to put onto your scissors, and as well as, or just hang on a bag or in your room, whichever, your craft room, doesn't matter. So what I love about these strips too is they're bendable and pliable, or very sticky because it doesn't want to stick to the paper. Instead, it likes to stick to me. So let's try that again. There we go. And O, then we'll do the E. There's our E. I could put a little one in the middle. Maybe I'll do that. Put a little itty bitty one there. I could also put it on the edges. So this is the nice thing, is it literally fits on here. I might not need it. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna need it. You can kind of see it a bit. So these are a little higher than dimensionals as well. Probably twice as high. So you can see how thick, oops, sorry, how thick they really are. So keep that in mind as well. So now I have this little bit, so I can actually save that and use that for another card. So put that on. So all I did was go, okay, N, O, E, L. And I did my two, I always like to do my ends first to try and get them as even as possible. I apologize for all the shadow. I didn't think I would get that much shadow, but I am. And then we'll do our N at the top. So I'm just using my grid lines as a guide. There's my N. And then now my 2 can go in the middle. So I try and even them out in the center. Noel, Noel. So my youngest son is obviously learning the clarinet. It's his first year in band. My eldest has got 2 years on him. So he's quite good. And he's also in jazz band, which I really love. And then my husband decided to buy a sax. So they've been practicing Christmas songs, and it's getting there. It's getting there. You still get a lot of squeaks here and there on the clarinet, but and you know, boo-boos on the sax, because my husband hasn't played the sax in how many years? So it's been entertaining in our house, let's say. Sometimes I think I should just put in earplugs, but you know, it's growing pains. There we go. So there's the Noel. Let me know what you think. And then we're going to do the joyous. Now, I'm going to put a black strip on that. Now, Stampin' Up! Does not sell black strips of foam adhesive. These I bought from scrapbook.com, but you probably could also find them at your local scrapbook store, and you should be good. And there you go. So now you can add some more bling to that to give it a little bit more life, but personally, I think that that's plenty. Now let's take a 4x4 square, because that's what this is, 4x4 square. And then I'm just going to stamp comfort, tidings of comfort and joy on the inside of that, because it's one of my other favorites. I don't know where I put my block, so I'm just going to reach for another one. And then I'm just going to stamp it with green. Now you could do green, red, whichever color, black, doesn't matter. But I just want to go with the shaded spruce because it matches the shaded spruce theme that's going on with this card. So there we go, tidings of comfort and joy. Could also add a little sprig in there as well, but we won't. I just want a little, because I need the room to write. I like to write. So, and there's 5 of us in my family. So by the time I write out everyone's names in my card, I need the space. So, because I don't just put The Batstone family. I literally write Bart, Nam, Brady, Benjamin, and Bishop. Yes, we are all bees. I'm sure most of you knew that, except for me. So I like to call it B and B cubed. Sorry, B triple or B3? I think we do B3. So I'm trying to think of what it is. Well, you know when you put the math thing? Okay, you got B squared. What is it? B cubed? No, cube is 4. I can't remember. Can't think right now. There we go. So that's our 2 cards. So let's just bring that in real quickly. 2 simple cards, which we've done in like what? Probably 10-15 minutes, maybe, because I'm rambling and I'm a little slow. But you could easily whip up 30 of these, no problem, and send them out for Christmas. Now, the other one I wanted to share with you is an ornament or tag. So I don't know where mine is. So I made this one for our jumbo tag class. And so I did work ahead a bit. So what I did was, we have these amazing new nested circles, deckled circles, sorry, and they are just beautiful. Like this big one is literally like 6 inches. So it literally just fits on your big boss. Now, all I did, of course, was just take 2 of these. I think it was this one, number 5. Yep. So that makes that one. And then the second one is what I used to make this ring. So you just put, oh, maybe it's one up. One up. So there's that one. And then the big one. Oh, one more. Sorry. So let's see here. So that would be the 6th largest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the 8th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Skip 1. And so that's 7. Then 8. And then you tape those 2 together. And then cut out a whole bunch of circles. And that's how I made that. Then you just use the largest circle and the smallest one to create this. So this is to write your little note to Nami from Santa. And then I made a big one to cover the back. Now I also used some blends to color this in to create kind of like a sunset. And I'm going to make sure I know how to put this back. So I used Starry Sky, Pumpkin Pie, and boho blue. And it doesn't matter how light or dark you want to put that in. And then I cut a couple pieces from the die sets. So these 2 pieces are from the Noel here. Joy of Noel. Where did I put my stamp set? Oh, here it is. So all I did was stamp this in Pebbled Path and then colored it with Cherry Cobbler. And then I used this die to do Shaded Spruce. So then I blended those. And then remember our Aspen Trees? So this is from Aspen Trees die. And this is Pebbled Path. Now, to give it a little more texture, just let me grab my ink pad here because I forgot. Oops, crash. I'm gonna need that. That was Versa. That fell. Just dropped my ink pad. So all I did was take my Pebbled Path and just added some color and edging to that to give it a little bit more life. So it didn't look so blah and grainy, plain. So it doesn't matter how much you put on there. Really, it's up to you because it's gonna be hidden and it doesn't matter if there's blotches because it's trees. So now you can see, oh, you really can't because of the light. You can see how well that actually goes in there. I wonder if it's just better if I don't use the light. Is that better? Maybe. So now you can see how much it's actually changed in color. I hope you can see that. Oh yeah, you can see it. Okay, so yeah, that's much better. I apologize. So this now goes here. And You can either trim ahead of time, or I'm lazy, so I just stuck this onto the back, just like so. And then what we're gonna do is just trim the ends, because remember the circle's gonna cover it anyway. So all I did was flip that over and take my glue, add it here, here, wherever I think it's gonna hit. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't hit, because you know what? You're just gonna trim it off and it's going in the garbage anyway. So we're just adding glue wherever we think we might hit that circle. Oh, forgot this branch. A nice big one. There we go. And it's okay if you miss a couple spots, because remember, it's gonna be sandwiched. So we're okay. I'm just gonna pick it up if I can. And then I'm going to take this and put that down. So this is my back. So I'm going to make sure it's straight. So I want that stripe of sunset in there straight, like so. And then I'm just going to lay this down on top. There we go. A little bit of glue oozing out, but not much. And then that creates our tree background, or our front with the sunset in the back. Then we just take our glue scissors and trim around that. So this didn't take me very long to make. I did have to make one each for every bingo participant. So it shouldn't take you very long as well. Like it's mostly die cutting, right? So, and it doesn't have to be a perfect circle, because it's just going on the front anyway. So this is gonna cover it, right, along the bottom, as you can see. And then it's gonna get sandwiched. So we're not too worried, because it's gonna go into a sandwich. Okay, so now we're gonna stick this onto our sandwich here. So I'm just gonna add some more adhesive. Not too sure where it's gonna hit, but what I do is I just put adhesive along the edges. Now again, this is a brand new liquid glue, so it's giving me more than I actually need right now. And then along the bottom, just a skinny line. Now I could do it on the ring instead of doing it on this as well, if you wanted to. And then you just take your ring and lay that on top. And I'm making sure that I get as much as the bottom as I can onto that ring. Because even though this top is there, it's okay, because we're gonna sandwich it and I'm not too concerned. Okay, there we go. So I'm just gonna squish that down. And now this becomes garbage, along with a few other things that are sitting on my desk. There we go. And now we need to hide the ribbon. So with this, I like to use tear tape. So we're gonna add our ribbon. So this is the plaid ribbon from the annual catalog. Again, it's on sale as well. And I use, I don't know, 6 inches, about so. And this is the loop. So you want your loop big enough to be able to go onto the tree branch or onto your gift, or what I like to think, a bottle of wine. So if you wanted to gift it as wine, then you would do that. So about 6-7 inches is all you really need. And then I'm just gonna grab my ribbon scissors, and then we're gonna stick that along the back. Now, we are using, I'm just gonna slide this paper over because I know there's glue on it. So we are going to use tear tape, because tear tape's a lot stronger than liquid glue, and I want that to stick. So I'm just gonna add a piece of tear tape along the top. So this is where do I want my ribbon? Along the top. So this is about here. And that's where my ribbon is going to sit. So then I'm just gonna take a piece off, take that off, like so. And I'm just gonna have one ready to go so I can cover. And we're gonna fold this over. Crisscross applesauce. And add that to the back. and then add another piece of tear tape over top. And that'll definitely hold it. And then you've got your little bow. Now I made that too high up, and I probably can't fix it. So I'm just gonna pull that down a bit. So let's grab another tear tape because I made a boo-boo. So here's what here's a tip on how to fix it. Just take and fold it however you like. I just need a little bit there. And I'm just gonna stick that down on top. Because my loop was showing too much. Okay, there we go. I like that better. Okay, so since we have tear tape in our hand, we're just gonna keep adding that along the bottom here. And I prefer to use tear tape because if this goes on the tree and let's say the next year you want to use it again, then it can pack nicely and you won't have to worry about it actually falling apart or breaking when you pack it and then pull it out the next year again. So I had trouble tearing it, so I'm just using scissors. Now I'm just going to lift these up because why waste? They're holding that ribbon down really good. And I use my take your pick tool because I can't get my finger in there enough, that my fingernail. So I just like to use my take your pick tool. I always end up lifting up the whole piece of tape like so. And then this just goes over top. Now you can be a little anal and try and find where this actually lines up, right? Because all of these are the same. These are two circles that are the exact same. Personally, I don't really care. I don't think I did that. So it's roughly about there, but you can. And then all you're going to do is lay that right on top on the back side there and get it lined up as best as you can. And there you go. Squeeze it together. And now you have your ornament / gift tag. So either way, that can work great on a gift. So now we're just going to take some mini glue dots because I pre-cut these for you in advance. Oops. Or not. That mini glue dot did not want to come off. And we're going to add that there. And you could add as many sprigs as you like. I just chose one. And now you'll also notice I didn't put a sentiment on mine. So you can. So maybe we'll do that. There we go. So I just liked mine hanging off to the side. Now to cover that up and show that it's something more than just to hide it, we're just going to tie a nice big bow along the top. So you can make this as much how big as or small as you like. I wanted to go a little bigger. There we go. Then we're just going to cut our ribbon again. Give it a little trim. Maybe it's too big. Just shrink that a bit. And yep, that's good enough, I think. And that's just going to hide right there. So then we're just going to add our glue dots and hide the tip there. And now it looks like you tied a bow along the top. Now you can adjust these, which I will. And my tails, I think, are a little too long. So I'm just going to snip them like so. And now we just need to add our little truck. And I need a piece of scrap because I didn't do this one, because I wanted to share it with you again. I'm sure you've seen it multiple times already, but just in case you haven't, I gotta find a piece of scrap. Okay, we're gonna take our truck. Now I did a yellow truck. I really like the yellow. So at first I was all about blueberry bushel trucks. Now I'm all about the yellow. And I did do a few gray because, you know, I have friends that have gray trucks. So I did that. And this is great for a masculine host gift as well. So if you're going to a friend's house and the host happens to be male, this would be an ideal one as well. So as always, stamp the center first. Let's get, there it is. I'm like, I need my blocks. Give me a second here to get my blocks out. Get these off. Pick that up. And this is crushed curry. And I'm just gonna stamp my truck. There you go. I really like the yellow. And so now I've switched to yellow. Now I'm gonna grab the shadow, or no, the trim like of the truck. And we're just gonna use Memento Black. Oops, my papers are moving like crazy. So sorry. And, you know, I'll slide this over because I know I have lots of glue sitting there. And then, now, did I put enough? Sidetracked, squirrel. And to line it up as well, I use the 2 tires and the window. So this isn't stamped straight and I can't put my head over top. So I'm going to try and get that as best as I can for you. It's not straight on my block, but I don't really care. That's not what's important. And then we'll stamp that down. I do find that that's the easiest way to do it. Oh, I was off. Way off on the top. The bottom was good, but it's off on the top. So let's do that again. That was not a very good job. I find that it isn't easy doing these trucks. So that's why I wanted to share with you all my boo-boos and tips, because I don't find that it's an easy stamp set. But maybe it's just me, right? Like other people might not have issues, but I do. So let's try that again. Gonna make sure I got the white on that side, got my shadows, and hopefully this time I'm good. Oh, much better. Perfect. Now, again, as most of you know, if you've been watching my videos, this does come with a tire stamp. I'll share it with you here, right there, but I'm terrible with it. So I just like to take my black blend and just go right into those tires and color them. Now you could also use your black right marker, right? So, right? And color those in as well. Then I'm just gonna take some smoky slate and get some of that shadowing there and get the bumpers. There you go. And of course, this comes as a punch. So that's another great reason as to why I love it, because you can just slide that in, or if it's too tight, take a Post-it note like so. Make sure this isn't a Post-it note I need, and punch it. Right? So you can easily do this while you're sitting in front of the TV and easily make 30 of these, no problem. There you go. So there is my truck. And then I have some greenery that I colored. So I stamped the tree. And as always, you want to leave that little extra bit there along the bottom. Then we're going to stick a couple Post-its, or sorry, mini glue dots along the back here. I got them. And then now I can stick my tree there, like so. There we go. Ready to roll. And then this just goes along the bottom. Now, if you want to add a sentiment, which we can do, let me just make sure. I have it cut out already, so I got to find it in my mess here. There it is. So you can add a sentiment along the bottom, as always, and then put your truck on top. So let's grab that festive one again, because I just can't get enough of it. There it is. Wishing you a festive Christmas, which I may have on a block. Oh, I already still have it on a block. Perfect. So we're just gonna grab our Memento black ink. Oh, I did a little too much there. Let's see. Yep, too much on that F. Went a little crazy. Shouldn't affect it. So let's try that again. That should be okay. Don't worry. Purposely leaving it there for you. Oh, now I got ink all over my hands. Okay, let's see if this works because I just got ink all over that. Yep, we're okay. No, we're not okay. So I'm just gonna flip that over. I had ink on my fingers and then I got it on there. So let's just stamp that again. On the back side of this die, which I love because you can use both sides. And there we go, ready to roll. So now we can just add some dimensionals on there, or you could just leave it as is. And put that there, and another one there. Got to make sure it's on the circle. So add that to the bottom, making sure I'm straight, because that would be pretty funny if I wasn't. And then we'll add some dimensionals and add our truck right on top. Or you could, yeah, have to be on top because then I'll cover the words. So we'll pop one there, one over there, and maybe a third one over here. Okay, so then we'll stick that right on top, making sure that wishing you is in the middle and our truck centered. And there's the front of our ornament or gift tag. Now what we also will do is put along the back our little spot where we can write to and from, or like make a little note, thank you or something. Or if you turn it into an ornament, you could just put the date on there, or just don't even bother putting this along the back. Doesn't matter, but there's your little ornament. So that was a lot of fun to make, and I was so happy to gift it, but I wanted to share it with you all here on how to design it and how you can also make it. So you could add a few embellishments if you like, but I think it's perfect just the way it is. Okay, now the last one is a box. So this one was a lot of fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the box and some of the designs I made, because the rest is really up to you. And it has lots of fun in it and easy to create. Again, uses a lot of your scrap, so you don't need to go out and get whatever, waste a lot of paper. So again, we're going to use a piece of DSP that you have lying around. So I had this one lying around. I used the pill style or oval punch that we actually now have that's in the mini catalog. And then I used some just whatever ribbon I had left over. What's really cute about this box is when you open it up, you can fit at least a dozen 3x3s in here. So we have the I can't speak, sorry, 3x3 envelopes, right? So each one of these cards can fit inside here. And this, I just used a sheet of 12x12 and cut it to 3x6 and scored it at 3 inches. So you have a 3x3. So don't waste your 8.5x11. Take a 12x12 and cut them because it's all squared, right? So you'll have no waste versus using 8.5x11, you will waste a lot of your paper. I mean, it becomes scrap that you will use to punch and stamp and whatever, but you don't need to do that. So these envelopes are great. I did 9, I think, but I believe you can fit 12. So let me show you. These are, so again, all I did was use scrap. So this is joyful, what is it called? Sorry, my apologies. Let me pull it out here. I know I have it right here and we were going to use it anyway. Joy of Christmas, I believe is what it's called. Yeah, 12x12 Joy of Christmas. And these are the different cards I made. So I had leftovers, so I just made them identical, right? Because they're not going to the same person. It's going to one person who's going to gift it. This one here, I used a circle that I had sitting around and I cut it in half and just did that. So one I just wanted to see what it looked like with the gold. This one I did with the linen thread and stamped it. So those are other ideas that I wanted to share. Here I just did plaid. I had this label sitting around. I had that die piece sitting around. So all I did was put that on with some more of the gold trim that we use, the elegant trim. Here's another one. I had a strip, stuck that in the back, punched a 2-inch circle, and then just added some bling. So these embellishments are the standard pearl embellishments, and all I did was color them with my blends. Here's another one, real simple. Instead of going circle, I did rectangle, and then little scrap pieces left over. So again, that works there. And this one I trimmed and fussy cutted and put Making Spirits Bright. And again, just fussy cutted that, put some scrap. This is all scrap paper, folks, all scrap paper. 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 to fit a 3 by 3. And that is all that I did there. So what I'm going to do right now is just show you how to make the envelope, because after that, the rest is easy peasy. And it's really up to you. I don't need to remake these again. But I am going to make another box. The box I'm going to still put as Warm Wishes or Merry Christmas or something on the outside, because this is a 3.5-inch box. So you have plenty of room to put your 3 by 3s in there. And it'll have a Christmas saying on the outside. However, the inside I'm going to fill because it's going to my sister-in-law, and I will fill it with 3 by 3 birthdays, sympathies, whichever to put on the inside. And I can even use the Joy of Christmas paper over again, which is fantastic, right? So let me just double check. I think this is, yeah. So 3 1/4 and then a 3 by 3. The box is 3 1/2. Okay, so let's make the box. So the box is really easy to make, and that's what I love about it. I'm just gonna flip this because I'm really tired of looking at ugliness. Like so. So all you need is 1 sheet of cardstock. So 1 sheet of cardstock will each make your box. And we'll pick any color we want. But I think I will use, this time I think I'll use Bermuda Bay. I was going to use Shaded Spruce, but it is pretty dark and you won't be able to see the lines. So, and here's my template. So I always like to have a template that I keep lying around. So if I ever need to make it again, I know exactly where to find it and how to make it again. So this is a cardstock. Actually, the one thing I didn't put on here is my cardstock size. So my cardstock size is actually 11 inches by 7.5. There we go. So all we're doing is losing 1 inch. Okay, and then I'm going to show you how to do all of that scoring. So we're going to take our paper trimmer, and we're already 11 inches wide. So all we have to do on the short side is cut off 1 inch, because that's going to get us our 7.5, right? So if that screws you up, just to show you, I'll open up my arm here so you can see. So you're going to line it up at 7.5 over here, or if you want easy math, you just take 1 inch off on this side. So you should be 1 inch on this side, 7.5 on this side. Make sense? Okay. So let's trim that down. And now, oh, I got black ink on my hands again. So we'll make sure we score that side in there. So now you can just save this strip and use it for any heat embossing or sentiments that you may want to use, or punches, whichever. Oh, I need this. Oh, actually, I'm going to use my scoring tool. So I'm going to use my score tool. That way you have reference. So if you play this video again, it's a lot easier to see. Okay, so we're going to just line that up. I smeared, but don't worry, that'll just go on the inside of the box where no one will see it. So along the long side, we're going to score it. I'll use my small tip at 3.5, and then 5 1/4, like so, and then 8 3/4, and then 10.5. Okay, so there you go. So 3.5, 5 1/4, 8 3/4, and 10.5. Then you're gonna rotate it, and on the short side, you're gonna go at 1 3/4. Okay, and then you're gonna go at 5 1/4, like so, and then 7 inches. There you go. So I'm gonna move my score tool. Score tool out of the way. And this is what you end up with. So I'll burnish all the ends so that you can see. Now I made a smooch there, so we're just gonna put that on the inside because no one's gonna see that. So these are my long edges. So that was the 5 1/2, and then this is the 8 3/4. Yep, something like that. And then we're gonna push that along the top, and then this one along the bottom. So this is our box right here. So that's our lid, and then we're just gonna hang that there, like so, right? So again, here's my template, so you know exactly which needs to get cut off, all those scribble lines. So I'm just holding it there. You can pause it, take a picture, whatever you want. And then we're gonna begin. So I'm just gonna get my scissors and we're gonna start trimming. So we're gonna trim off this side here. And I'm also very bad at trimming. So I always like to look for like the farthest line. Like so. And trim this off. Okay. So this piece is going to be our flap on the lid, like the inside. There we go. Miss my corners all the time. And then we don't need this piece because, like I said, this is going to be the flap. And I do like to taper my anything that tucks in because, you know, like sometimes when you buy the packs of gum and things like that, they're all tapered. So I always like to do that too, because then it just makes it easier to open and close the box, especially if you're gifting them a whole bunch of 3x3s for different occasions. Then you want to be able to make sure you're giving them something that can open and close real well. So again, just cutting it along this line, like so, and then getting rid of this, so we don't need this. And we don't need this. We need the middle one because the middle one is going to seal our box. Like that. I'm a little slow, I know. Okay, there we go. So you can see our box is going to fit like this. So now we just need to cut a slit on these sides, right down the middle here. And I didn't do a very good job of trimming this edge, so I'm going to clean it up. All right. And then this edge. And I'm just going to taper that slightly so that I know for sure it can go and close that lid really nicely. So again, feel free to fast forward because I am a slow cutter. Some people can do these really fast, but I'm a bit of OCD and like to make sure I'm good. So cut that there. Probably over my hour by now for sure. Oops. And I'm just going to flip it because I'm right-handed and I prefer to cut along the right-hand side. There. Okay, so you can see now that this is our top that goes like so and closes up. So I got a little bit of a nick there. So along the bottom, we're just going to dump this guy here because he's useless. There's no value in this corner. And then we're just gonna cut these open because then we can seal the bottom. And I'm just gonna taper just slightly. I'm really just tapering along the score lines, because you know how you have that thick score line? That's what I'm tapering on. And it just allows me to fold the edges a little better. Okay, so cut that on that side. There you go. And on this side. Okay, there we go. So again, it's gonna go like that, and our lid. Now, if you like, I did a terrible job at cutting that lid. So let me fix this up. I don't know how I made that terrible job. Well, I do know how, but let's see. There we go. And then you could round these corners if you like, which I'm going to do. So I'm just gonna grab my corner rounder. So if you have a corner rounder, just round those two corners, and that'll be your lid, like so. And now all we have to do is seal this up. So move all that, that's all junk. So now we're just gonna take, I like to use Seal Plus with this, or tear tape. So you can just take your Seal Plus, run it along the edge there, and that'll get you your box. So this just folds over, and this comes over here, like so. Oh, it should fold flat, because it should be even. There we go. That's my box, and then it pops up. So here's the front. So this is the part that you would decorate. This tucks in here like so. So there's your thing. Now you can also decorate all four sides, right? And then all we need is to do the bottom. So I always like to, if this is my front, I always like to have this as my last. So I'll put that one in first, this and this. So then that way you have that, everything is at the back kind of look. So then we're just gonna add adhesive. So I'm gonna add adhesive to this guy. So I can do this flat. Here, if I pop the lid open, you can do it flat. Should show you that instead. And then these two ends come down onto there, like so. And then this one becomes our end. And there's your box. So 11 by 7.5. And then all you have to do is decorate it. There you go. There's your box. So I'm not going to spend time showing you how to decorate. It's really up to you. So you can make your base any color you want, and whatever theme you're looking for. This is the oval punch, and then I punched 2 holes on the side, and then we just decorate the whole front. And now you can also, like I said, do the sides as well. I just chose not to. And then again, as soon as you open the inside, and just to show you, I can take all of this, add it to the inside of this box, and it'll fit perfect. Now, if you don't want to gift them cards, you can obviously put in whatever gifts you want in here, chocolates, soap. It fits soap just perfectly, by the way. Anything you want. Fits some of our tools in here, does not fit embellishments. Fits a glue stick. I think I put a few examples in there. It fits a block, so you can gift them a block or 2. That's a cool idea if you have a crafty friend. And then just use a 12 by 12 sheet and cut into 3 by 6s. So that's it. So I hope you enjoy those 4 projects. And if you place an order with me this week, you will receive all the supplies. I will not gift you all of these, obviously, but you will get a sheet of cardstock to make this box. So that's 8.5 by 11, and then you'll trim it yourself. So I will probably give you either Real Red or Pool Party or Shaded Spruce, something more Christmassy. You'll get all the materials to make these 2 cards, and then I will die cut for you the shapes and all the pieces so that you can do that. I cannot stamp the truck or the leaves or the holly, so you will have to do that yourself. I hope you have the trucking along. If not, just substitute with whatever you have. I'll give you the ribbon, the die cuts, and all that. So thank you again for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed Christmas card class number 2.